Well, I'm back out doing Nightly Encounters with the homeless, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. I see more homeless people on the street tonight than I did last night, which is heartbreaking. I want you to have a listen to this interview from one of our homeless friends who was sleeping rough on the streets, and now he has a home. So please listen to this. And
I was homeless for 10 weeks. I said longer than 10 weeks, even nearly a year. But when I became aware of the situation and how to accommodate myself, it got a lot easier to actually accommodate myself, because I informed myself of how to do it. And the secret to the whole thing is to renege government funded help.
Yeah.
That would be to renege hostels, because they don't suit most people that would become homeless. They don't suit people that aren't on drugs. People that aren't on drugs, they're not suited. People that aren't drinkers, they're not suited. People that haven't got mental health issues, they're not suited. Basically, hostels, in my opinion, should be used for people that are in treatment for drug addiction, and from their treatment from drug addiction, when they're finished with a detox program, or when they would be finished with, say, how would you explain it? When they're going back into society and integrate back into society, these hostels are not the place for them, because basically what's happening is they're being sucked back in on the whole drug scene, and it becomes a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Now this suits the charities that are funded by the government to actually let this happen, because basically what's happening would be that these people are making money from it on a sort of a cycle basis. You understand?
Exactly.
Now, unless the whole homeless situation is dealt with in a sort of a, how would you say, like sensible manner. For argument's sake, Peter McFerry at the minute has 40 people in a hostel. He makes £1 million a year from that hostel, from government grants and so on, and funding to fund that hostel. Where the 40 people in the hostel, for the price of £200,000 a week, a year, could be accommodated in the private rental sector by just giving them £600 a month for their rent, to rent a place.
Exactly.
You understand? Which means for the same price as what McFerry makes £1 million and 40 people being accommodated in these hostels, you could have 200 people in private rental for the same money.
Jesus.
Now,
I never knew that now, to be honest.
Now, another thing is that if, one way would you put it to be just right, if they give £15 million for people to be accommodated in council flats, they're trying to estimate last September, February, when I was in a council meeting at the end of February last year, they estimated that it would cost £112,000 to do up on average each council flat that you needed to get available for the rental market. Now, if you check out the Evening Herald, the March before that February, they estimated that each house was going to cost £14,000 to get right.
Jeez.
Now, my flat, where I got from the pressure on them from the doorway, Dunn Stores just up the road here, basically what happened was, I estimate that it cost them, they gave me £1,800 worth of grants to furnish it and to get it right for myself, and they might have given, say, the subcontractor that was bought in just to cut the flat of anything that was in it, so that I went into a brand new flat with nothing done to it furnishing wise. Do you understand? I reckon it cost £5,000 to get that flat right. There was no other money, and anyone that says it was any more for my flat to get ready for me is lying. And I'd like to know, where's the money? Can they give me a documentation for what is it, 8 Kevin Barry house? How much did it cost to get it ready for me to move into? I still can't find out from anybody in the government or anybody that I ask for who signed off on me getting my house. Miraculously, they don't know. And I only want to thank that person in person, but yet they don't know who signed off on my house, because I was given a house to shut me up, so that I'd get off the street and I'd stop giving out about the whole way things are run. It's an administration thing, and they're making money off the back of people being homeless. And I would like to call to account to anyone that's collecting money on the back of the homeless that's not fully committed to doing what they say they're doing. Like, I can give you an example. Brother Kevin says, if you're sleeping out, come in the morning and get a shower, you can get your dinner. He hasn't the funding to do anymore, and to keep his whole operation going, it's £2.2 million a year. Now his funding is cut even though there's a critical need for people to be actually accommodated for that daytime service in Dublin. And I would recommend also that he would get more funding to be able to open a service, say, from 5 to 8 in the evening. Whether he'd want to do that or not, I don't know. But I'm sure if the funding was there, he could bring in more staff that would cater for that service, where it would be hopefully free from drug addiction. Because Merchants Quay Ireland, in my opinion, is for people that are on intravenous drug use. So it shouldn't be promoted as a homeless centre. It should not be. It shouldn't be promoted.
But how many people do you estimate are sleeping rough on the streets of Dublin?
Well, I think there could be anything up to 1,000.
Yeah?
Easily. There's people that aren't being counted in their police areas. To be honest, it's getting to the stage where even Focus Ireland are recommending that people go back to the council.
Hi guys, that was an interview from Kieran, and Kieran is a very smart and well-known person from the streets, and that was his point of view on the homeless situation in Dublin. And I want you to meet this chap, Carl. He's homeless 3 weeks now, and he's finding things difficult on the street. So let me know what you think of his interview. Cheers. So how did you end up sleeping on the streets of Dublin?
So basically, I come from an abusive household. Not my whole life, just towards the end of me living there, 6-8 months, started becoming abusive and all that. My parents eventually kicked me out, and I've been on the street since that point.
Since that time. And what's your sleeping conditions like? Do you sleep in hostels or do you sleep on the streets?
At this point, I sleep out in the street. Sleep rough, try to be as comfortable as possible, which is a bit hard. For example, I used to try laying benches and all the guards come, they don't let you do it. So it become very compromised in what you can do.
And do you fear for your life on the street? Like,
I don't fear for my life. Just being a bit, intuitive and not getting yourself into weird situations and areas. Just be a bit smart with it, Bill.
So why do you not sleep in the hostels in Dublin?
So I have a friend who used to be homeless himself. He was telling me about the hostels and all that. And his experience was a lot of violent nights out there. The stuff would get stolen, just a bad environment. He didn't feel safe sleeping there, so he was reluctant then. You had to sleep up because of it. So that's basically why I wouldn't stay in hostel space off someone else's experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I've had many of homeless people coming up to me saying that the hostels aren't safe. They're being robbed. They're being beaten up. It's a very scary environment if you're new to being. I just want to say thank you for the interview.
No issue, man. Hoping to help somebody out, with my experiences, maybe someone else can, if they're in an abusive household or something like that, and they're scared of going on the street, it's a better alternative for you, I think, in my opinion, instead of being in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
It's bad, but it's not that bad. It seems worse until you do it. And then when you do it, you think, it seemed worse than it really was,
Yeah,
what to do, just do it. It's not the end of the world. You have services like we have out here. We have the soup kitchens and all that. They give clothes, sleeping bags, all of that. So you're safe out here, to an extent. Yeah. And it's not the end of the world. You can get out of it as well. Exactly. So that'd be my advice to anyone who's in a situation.
Thank you for watching Nightly Encounters with the Homeless. Tonight was it was hard looking at the homeless people in different situations and the living conditions that they have to go through on a daily basis. I took some pictures today which I would like you to have a look at of the conditions that the homeless people have to sleep on a daily basis. Cheers, thank you.
On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November we tripped lightly along. on the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tart, and I'm not making hay. Oh, I loved too much, and by such is her.